Hormozi's been lying to us. He's been lying to you. He's been lying to me. He's been lying to millions of people when he said the offer is the most important thing. You see, that's not true. It's not true anymore. That used to be true. But now in this day and age, the offer is actually the least important thing that you should be worrying about in your business. And I'll tell you why. And so before you go running to the comments and scour behind your YouTube channel telling me that I'm an idiot, I hop on calls with Hormozi every single Monday. I admire Hormozi. I think he's one of the best entrepreneurs of our time, but he was wrong about the offer. And the reason for that is nowadays with the release of his amazing $100 million offers book, everybody knows how to make good offers. As a matter of fact, that coupled with Expert Secrets and so many other great offer books, everybody knows how to make compelling, new, exciting, shiny, beautiful offers. And so here's the problem, is everybody out there on the market now knows how to make good offers. Everybody out there is making great offers. I'll get you 20 high-ticket clients in the next 180 days using our AI reverse reciprocal inbound growth funnel, or I'll send you $5,000 back plus your initial investment. And it's done for you, right? Like, everyone's making great offers nowadays. Like, that's not the problem. That's not the reason why you can't make any money. That's not the reason why you're failing as your offer, right? Everyone's making phenomenal offers. Here's the problem, though, is you can make the best offer in the world to the exact perfect person who has the pain that you solve. But if they don't believe your offer, they won't buy. And so here's the biggest problem I see in this entrepreneurial world which we are in currently. It's that everybody is making great offers, but nobody's backing them up. And nobody's getting people to actually believe their offers. Think about the last 5-10 ads you saw. Did you believe what they were saying? Think about the last time you got cold DM'd or cold emailed or cold called. Did you believe what that person was saying? Probably not. Let me ask you another question. Was the offer objectively good? Like, just the offer, was it solid? Like, did it make you more money than it cost you? Probably, right? And so why didn't you take it up on it? If you pay $10 and get $20 back and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, wouldn't that be a good trade to do every single day of the week? Yes, comma, if you believed it. And that's where the issue is rooted in. And I'll tell you to solve it in a second, so bear with me. But the problem is people don't believe your offer. That's the issue nowadays, is you run around telling everyone about this phenomenal AI system, YouTube growth funnel, inbound ads, DM setter, white labeled, go high level bullshit, and people still say no, and then you sit there and go, what? These prospects are broken, unqualified, and my offer sucks. So if I make a better offer to better prospects, I'll make money. And then you make a better offer to better prospects, and you still make no money. And then you still blame the prospects in the offer, but you don't realize is the reason why they're saying no isn't because of the offer. Because the offer in and of itself is objectively good. The reason why they're saying no is they don't believe it. And that's due to a couple of reasons we'll dive into in a second, but that's the problem, is people don't believe what you say to be true, because if they did believe it, they would buy. Because there's so many good resources for making good offers. Everyone knows how to make a good offer. So here's the problem. The reason they don't buy is because they don't believe. Now, why don't they believe? I'll tell you number one. Everybody and their mother is promising people they're going to make them a millionaire overnight. And so people fundamentally have got screwed over, and therefore they inherently, when they get made an offer that's similar, don't believe because people recognize patterns, right? They go, well, that was the same offer I bought last time, and it made me lose money, therefore I must assume it's the same. That's just how the world works, right? If there's a purple guy and you walk down the street and get punched in the face by a purple guy, and the next day you do the same, the next time you see a purple guy, you're going to run because you know he's going to punch you in the face. And it's the same with offers. If you get an offer that sounds relatively the same, right, or shiny or cool or whatever, and you got screwed over by it before, if you hear that same offer again, you're going to be hesitant, right, and you're very cautious about it. And so that's the first problem, is the fact that people have got screwed over before. The second problem is that a lot of people make offers that genuinely sound too good to be true. That even if it were true, which most of them aren't, even if it were true, it sounds so good to be true that you're doing yourself more harm than good by making such a good offer, because you're almost doing the opposite of what you want. Because you're making people actually turn away because they think that it must be some sort of scam. And for most people, they actually are scamming because they can't deliver on their promise. And so literally lowering your guarantee and you're promising your offer will actually do you better, right? Because an offer that guarantees $100 with 1,000 pieces of proof will always be better than an offer that guarantees $1,000 with 100 pieces of proof. And that's because people pay for what they want, and they pay for security and certainty. And so even if they know they're going to get less or worse, as long as they know they're guaranteed going to get it, they will be willing to pay more for less. We do this all the time on Amazon. We go search for products, right? And sometimes we will intentionally buy the product that costs more but has more reviews because we're willing to spend the extra money for the thing that we want to make sure it's actually going to be good. And so that's part of it. One of the other reasons why people don't believe your offer is because of you. You see, your offer is really only good. Your offer is only as good as the person presenting it. And so a lot of people make this offer of like, oh, I'm going to build you this AI cold calling system, reverse reciprocal inbound growth funnel, which sounds like this crazy, new innovation. And then they look at you and you're a 14-year-old kid with one long hair growing out to here. Your hair's all fucked up and you're wearing, a 2008 shirt that your mom bought you from fucking Walmart. And you're laying in your bed with shit lighting. And your mic is barely audible, and you wonder why the prospect doesn't believe you when you say this, right? And that's because the offer is only as credible as the person giving it. And so Elon Musk could make somebody an offer to make them $100, and it costs them $90, and someone would rather take him up on that than you offering somebody $1 million and it costs them $1,000. Why? Because even though Elon's offer is objectively worse, or let's just say yours even costs $100 as well, and you're making $1 million. Even though Elon's offer is objectively worse, people are more likely to believe him, right? Because it's Elon, because he's credible. And so another part of this is you, and this is where people really forget. And if you're still listening, you're in for some sauce here, which is that a lot of people forget that your offer, especially in the early stages, really comes down to you. How do you present yourself? When you say your offer, do you say it with conviction and confidence and power and assertiveness? Or do you say it really reserved and held back and shy and uncertain? Right? When you say your offer, do people believe you? Or do they start to question your integrity and your credibility and your belief about this? Right? It's a good question to ask yourself. Right? When someone looks at you and you make them an offer, do they take you seriously or do they laugh about it? That's another part of this, right? Imagine a 5-year-old kid coming up to you and saying, "Hey man, I'm going to run your ads and make you $10,000 next month." What would you say? You laugh and be like, "All right, kiddo, that's cute. That's cool. I appreciate, it's cool that you're doing this, but that's not happening." That's how people look at you when you say, "I'm going to make you $100,000 next month by doing this, this, and this." And you look like Joe Smo in his fucking parents' basement. Take a good look at yourself. When you make an offer and people trust you, would people find you credible? Ask yourself that question, because it's just as important. As a matter of fact, I would argue it's even more important than the offer itself, is how credible is the person giving it. How credible is that person? Right? How do you look? How do you present yourself? Are you somebody that people take seriously? Or are you somebody that people look at and just brush over because they just go, "Oh, look at this guy, fucking joke." Right? And it sounds maybe a bit harsh, but it's true. And we live in a cruel world. Right? We live in a very unforgiving world where people want what they want. And if you aren't going to give them what they want, they're not going to give you their hard-earned money. And so you got to really reflect and look internally at yourself and ask, am I worthy of this person's money? Do I come across as somebody who would be deserving of this? Right? And so we go back to this idea that the offer doesn't matter. And we understand that the thing that does matter is the belief. It is the conviction behind the offer. Right? When you present the offer, do you present it in a way where you feel fully convicted when you say it? Right? Where you're fully certain and people can hear that in your tonality and your cadence? Or do you sound uncertain? Do you sound unsure? Right? Is your voice wavering a little bit? Is it very shaky? Right? Because that'll play a huge role as well. Not to mention just the offer in and of itself. Is the offer believable? You, as a 15-year-old kid who's never made a penny online, telling a realtor that you're going to make them $100,000 over the next 6 months is not believable. You telling the realtor, "Hey, I don't know shit about making money, but I do know how to run ads, and I can guarantee if I run ads for you, I will get you more leads, and if you're good at sales, you will close them," is way more believable. And despite the fact on a surface level it's like, "Stefan, but that offer is worse," it's like, yeah, it is. But people believe it. And people will pay for what they believe. People will buy what they believe. Right? Make a good offer all you want. If they don't believe they're going to get what they pay for, they're not going to buy. Right? If you go to a hot dog stand and, like, imagine you go to a hot dog stand and you're vegan because you're gay. And you ask the guy, "Hey, are these hot dogs vegan?" And the guy goes, "Oh, yeah, vegan. Yeah, sounds good." and you can tell he didn't really hear your question, but he's just like, trying to say yes to get you to buy. And you look in the back and you see a bunch of dogs getting fucking burned and butchered. What do you think? You buying that hot dog? You believe in him? Or you're like, oh wait, let me get the fuck out of here. I'm not buying that shit. Which one? I know. And you do too. Right? And so the thing is, I can take this example and apply it to anything in life. But if you don't get what you think you're paying for because you don't believe in it, you won't buy it. It's that simple. Right? It's why when some guy calls you and tells you, hey man, this is your credit card company calling and you owe us $500, you don't buy it. Why? Because you don't believe. Or when someone calls you and says, hey man, or someone emails you, hey, you get a free phone if you click this link. Why don't you click it? It's a free phone. It's a great offer. Costs you no money, takes you no time, you get a free phone. Why don't you click it? Because you don't believe. You see, you can make a good offer all you want, but if nobody believes it, it doesn't matter. And that's where the problem is rooted. In the offer thing. Right now, my other monitor here is a Discord, actually. And funny enough, as we're talking, this girl, Molly23, just joined this server. And she posts this. Just hit 11K today. Forget magic tricks. This is pure hustle power. Smiley face, hustle face, flexing emoji. Onward and upward from here. Who's ready to make the impossible possible? DM me. And it's a screenshot of some scam Shopify store that I see 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same of if I scroll up in this Discord server. Right? Great offer. People are going to buy it? No. Why? They don't believe. You see, the offer doesn't matter anymore. I've talked about this time and time again. I will to the day I die. Your offer doesn't matter. What matters is that people believe what you say. And so you can make an objectively bad offer, but if people believe it, they will be more likely to buy that than a good offer that they don't believe. So just remember that the most important thing is belief, right? Belief, credibility, conviction, etc. And so maybe tone your offer back a little bit, make it more believable, enhance your own credibility so people believe you when you speak and say it, and get some social proof, right? Go out there, service your clients. Instead of letting your offer speak for itself, let your results speak for itself. Instead of saying, hey, we'll make you 100K in 60 days, be like, we just made 23 realtors in the last month hit 100K. Now, our offers will help you hit 50, but the last 23 just hit 100K, right? That's like, oh, wow. Okay, well, these guys hit 100K. His guarantee is 50. Obviously, you can hit that because these guys hit 100. You know what I mean? Like, your social proof will be the best offer, the best selling point you ever have. But you can only get that if you get clients. You can only get clients initially if you have people believe what you say. So once again, if you don't have case studies and referrals and testimonials to do selling for you, you have to do the selling. In order for you to do the selling, you have to get somebody to believe. The same way that when Mark Zuckerberg pitched his best friend, Eduardo Saverin, to give him $18,000 on an idea that didn't yet exist, he said sure. Or the same way that when Jeff Bezos went to his brothers and sisters and said, hey, I need money from you for an idea that didn't even exist yet, that sounded ridiculous at the time, they said yes. Why? Because they believed in Jeff. They believed in Mark. Why? Because the way that they presented themselves to the people buying. Remember that. Okay? Because it's so, so, so important. We live in a world where everyone's always talking about offer because the most influential entrepreneur in our space is talking about it, and rightfully so, because in this context, he should. Right? But for most of you watching this, you would be best served just making people believe what you say instead of trying to make what you say better. Take it as you will. If you want to see what my offer is, click the link down below and you can see it. And if you believe it, maybe you'll buy. And if you don't, I guess I suck at what I'm talking about.